authenticity. Being your authentic self. What does that mean? Being true to yourself, being in alignment with yourself, your true signature frequency, of course. But it also means, really, as you say, putting it out there, really acting on your passion. The idea is that you have chosen to have a physiological experience, a physiological lifespan. That physiological lifespan plays out according to the theme and themes you have chosen to explore. And it is up to you to decide how you will explore them. Now, we are not saying that you cannot have an authentic life, have an extraordinary life, by being in a state of balanced peace. Of course you can. It doesn't mean that when we say it is important to act in your life, that you have to be running all over the world. You can be stable, peaceful, balanced in one location for the entire lifespan, if you wish. If that is true for you, really true. However, we recognize that because of the thousands of years of fears that have existed on your planet, that have embedded within many of you in your culture, your society, in your upbringing, the idea of definitions of diminishment, definitions of devaluation, definitions of the experience of disconnection, that many of you will not necessarily be acting as fully as you could be, will not allow yourselves to be your authentic beings. And now is the time to change that. As has been said, you know you are going through a transformation in this day and age. You know that it is about the idea of letting go of the things that are not you and incorporating the things that are. In the most profound, most artistically creative and expressive way possible. It is about getting out there and doing it, not holding back, not hesitating to be yourselves, your authentic selves. It is about being bold, adventurous, courageous, confident, curious, imaginative, excited, interactive, expressive, not holding back the gifts that you have to give, not depriving others of those gifts. Because while you may feel from time to time that you are seeking and searching for things, others also are seeking and searching for what you have to share, for what you have to give, for the expression of your true authentic self. When more and more and more of you are really allowing that authentic self to come to the forefront and to stand tall and to stand firm with your feet firmly planted on the ground and your consciousness raised to the heavens so that you stand in between that balance point of heaven and earth, as you say. And you allow yourself in that state of being, in that state of certainty, to really know it's all right, to really know it is your purpose, to really know that you can act, put forth, give out that gift, express that gift. And there will always, always, always be a reflection from those that have been seeking what you have to give. It may not come in the form you expected, but the unexpected is to be expected in your lives from this point forward. Allow yourselves to be prepared to turn left and turn right in unexpected ways, to go up, to go down, to go forward, to go back in unexpected ways. Follow the flow of the path of least resistance, no matter how it may wind, no matter how it may twist and turn through your life. For those twists and those turns are your trips, your adventures, your processes, your explorations, your discoveries of more of yourself. And were they not essential to understanding the fullness of your being, those twists and turns would not exist in the path that you are. They are there for a purpose. They are there for a reason. They are there to help you Authenticate yourself. Validate yourself. Get reflections and reinforcements of the true being that you are. For as you put that out there, you will always get the reinforcement and reflection and support of creation that this is who you say you are. Creation will never contradict you, ever. It is not designed to do that. It is designed to support you unconditionally in whatever you say is your truth, and whatever you say is true for you, if it really is in alignment with your signature frequency. Always in living an extraordinary life, always, too, must you incorporate the idea of balance, gratitude, grace, appreciation, and always take the time, always take a pause, and always take a moment to make sure that you are being truly authentic, that you are not disguising your anxiety as excitement, not burying the idea of definitions that you are too afraid to look at, because you are afraid that if you go diving down to look at, to examine, and to explore and investigate those negative beliefs you may have about yourself, many of you may be too afraid to find out that if you go exploring, you will discover that those negative beliefs are actually true. I guarantee you they will never be true. They will never be true. For you are a co-creator. You are made in the image of creation. You are what gives life meaning. You are the reflection of the all that is exploring its unique self. And this idea of your extraordinary life and the authenticity is all based on the concept of your unique perspective. You are the only one of your kind. You will ever be the only one of your kind. And no matter how many other simultaneous, incarnational existences you may cross-connect to from the present, there will always only be one of you. You will always only have this one life to live as you. So live it to the fullest. Allow it to be what you designed it to be. Work in harmony, work in concert with your higher mind. For your soul being has, in a sense, set itself up as a duality and a trinity by creating the split of the non-physical higher mind and the physical mind, and the balance point in between. You function on all three levels simultaneously, and by allowing there to be that balance between the two, allowing the relationship between the physical and the higher mind to work smoothly, to let each other do the jobs you were designed to do, to support each other, to reflect to each other what it is you were designed to support and reflect, you will be functioning as a whole being, as a whole person, as your authentic self, as your adventurous self, as your extraordinary self. But it'll say, let us continue this transmission with your questions and dialogues, if you wish.
Greetings, dear brother.
And to you, good day.
And greetings to everybody on the other side of the veil.
Guys.
We're going to be building new sacred sites and pyramid temples.
Okay.
And is there a way to, or a method to find the exact location of the intersection of the ley line, sir?
Well, there are a variety of ways. Some of them can actually be found if your equipment is sensitive enough with electromagnetic sensors. But you can intuit them as well if you place yourself in the proper meditative state and focus on the idea of the energetic lines, the grid on your planet. You can intuit it, and also some people can use permission slips, such as dowsing rods and so forth, to also plot and chart the idea of the electromagnetic grid, or ley lines as you call them, on your planet. There are a variety of ways, and different people will be attracted to different methodologies based on what works with their belief system. You follow?
Yes, brother.
All right. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Anything else?
In the temples, we're going to be building, we're going to have like some staging areas. Would some type of platform, such as a landing pad or a rod for the ships to anchor to? Which would be more?
A platform,
Okay.
at least 100 feet in diameter, would be of assistance, with a gateway or an entry point. Doesn't have to be connected to any other, but a symbolic door, in a sense, at each of the 4 cardinal points, north, east, south, west, would be most efficacious as a representation, as a symbol, as a permission slip to connect the collective consciousness of your planet, the energy of your world, with the concept of contact in that way.
Thank you, brother.
Painting each of the doorways red, white, black, yellow, in the directions as indicated by many of the indigenous societies in your North American continent, to associate those colors with the proper directions. All right?
Thank you, brother.
Will that do?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much.
I have a few more questions.
Oh, I thought you said that would do.
Oh, for that one.
Yes, all right.
The Pyramid of Giza, other than using the sarcophagus permission slip, was it ever used as a power plant?
It generates a kind of focus like a lens electromagnetically, but not so much as a power plant as you understand them today in your technology. More the idea of the amplification of the energy to create the proper resonance state for the purpose of using the sarcophagus to get into the gamma state and have it amplified so that it can help facilitate out-of-body travel. More that than anything.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Could you give a description of the Yael civilization, and is there any messages from them?
The Yael civilization is a hybrid civilization. They are relatively similar looking to your Earth humans, which is one of the reasons why they will be the first hybrid civilization to make open contact with you, because they are familiar looking enough to you as to not cause concern. This will start to happen in that window of time from 2025 to 2033, where many of these contacts will begin to amplify. They will not necessarily be the first extraterrestrial civilization to make open contact, but they will be the first hybrid civilization to do so. We will be the third. They have said that within the next year or so, they will give another demonstration of their craft, as they did in the incident that you mostly refer to as the Phoenix Lights, so that again they can gauge the readiness of your people in their reaction or response to the sighting of that craft, to determine exactly how ready many of you are for the concept of contact. That's their message.
Thank you.
Anything else?
How high is your ship above Sedona?
1,350 miles.
We made an effort at Bell Rock, was using the array. Was that
It is a
effective?
beginning, but the array has not been completed yet because we haven't delivered the final information regarding how it needs to be constructed. So it is only partially complete.
Thank you. One more question.
Yes.
Could you give a physical description of the civilization in the Barnard system?
Again, they are humanoid, a little bit different than you. They are approximately in what you would call their Renaissance age. So a lot of their structures aren't necessarily built in the same ways that yours are, but they utilize stone and wood. And they are relatively sophisticated in their utilization of electrical energy. They do not have borders in the way that you do, countries in the way that you do. And again, physiologically, they are somewhat similar to your humanoid form, but there are differences in their face and in their bodily structures, but not extremely significantly so. Does that help?
Yes, the first steps for contact with them, will it be similar to in this format, or will we just borrow your ships to land there?
That has not yet been completely worked out. When you are made, in a sense, a beginning member of the Interstellar Alliance, these arrangements will be discussed, and whatever is determined among your world and our worlds to be the best course of action for the inhabitants of the Barnard star system will be the route that is taken at that time. This will most likely be sometime around, or maybe slightly before or slightly after your year of 2050. All right?
Very exciting, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
How do you? Good day.
Just have a couple questions. The
Speak
first
up,
one,
speak up.
My first question is, this is exciting to me. It's exciting, expanding my consciousness and seeing all the things that we are able to do and communicate.
Yes.
Now, is sharing this information with people that maybe don't have any understanding of it, is it considered imposing on their free will to try to...
You can always discuss what it is that excites you, but if they give you any indication that it is not something that they wish to hear, then any further pushing would be an imposition.
Okay.
So you can always bring the subject up of metaphysical concepts and so on and so forth and share what you believe works for you. Again, this is what we do. We share these ideas with absolutely no insistence that you have to buy into them or accept them or use them in your life whatsoever. We know that they work for us. We know they can work for you if you believe that they can and are willing to use them. But we don't insist that you have to. We have to allow you to choose whatever it is you believe is best for you at any given moment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Therefore, we do not impose, but we share where it is apparently and obviously appropriate for us to do so. We don't just necessarily blurt things out when it seems like it is not something that someone may wish to hear, but you will always get some kind of an indication, synchronistically, or a sign or a marker, that the timing may be appropriate to at least very carefully broach any subject that you believe might be somewhat new to another individual, to give them time to understand and absorb it, if that is what they're going to choose to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Remember that anytime anyone feels like they have to force something on someone means that you don't actually believe in the power of that idea, and all you're attempting to do is convince yourself of its validity, not the other person. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does this help?
It does.
Anything else?
Just one more question. I've been hearing a lot of talk about the flat earth theory. Is there any truth to that?
Are you asking if your Earth is flat?
Yeah, because I've been hearing people say that.
You know it's not, yes?
I've never been out of California, so I've never been up high to confirm it for myself. So.
Well, all right. You can most likely go along with the understanding that objects floating in space will more often than not form spherical bodies when left to their own devices.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
You've seen this demonstrated when you see pictures coming back from your astronauts playing around with liquids in space?
Yes.
And you see them forming spheres?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. There it is.
Does that help you?
It does. Thank you.
Now,
Bashar.
this does not mean that there cannot be dimensions of reality where the physics is different, so that what they live on, though it may not be called a planet specifically, can actually be a flat surface. But that's not the physics of your dimension. But it is a reality on other dimensional levels.
I see.
Does that help?
It does. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
I knew you. Good day.
Thank you. Wow, so many questions.
So many answers.
Yeah, good ones too. I'll start with, I've had a lot of what you could call mystical experiences, and I'm wondering if there's a common theme among them, some agreement or something along those lines.
Well, the challenges that you face and the synchronicities that you experience in life are usually representative of the themes that you chose to explore. So that can have a common thread, if you wish. Probably most likely the expansion of your consciousness, the expansion of your awareness, the ability to become more adept at transforming negative to positive, so on and so forth. Being more of yourself. Yes?
Definitely.
Well, that's a common theme. That's
Okay.
a connecting thread.
Um,
Anything else?
One of these experiences in the fall of 2013 led to me unlocking a pretty strong ability to work with energy and my field and other people's field and so on.
What is your field, as you say?
The human energy field. I'm actually not really sure what terms would be best used to describe this sort of thing.
All right.
I can feel it, but I don't.
Yes.
I've been exploring it from
All
kind of
right.
the inside
Well,
out.
how do you choose to work with this idea?
I've been doing healing work with
all
other
right.
people.
And so,
My,
this excites you?
It does, yeah.
All right.
My question was, could you tell me more about this energy and how could I best develop those abilities further?
I believe you already know the answer to that because we've been speaking about it all day long.
Excitement?
Yes. When we talk about the idea of acting on your excitement being a complete kit that leaves nothing relevant in your life out, you may take us quite literally.
Okay.
It's not a metaphor. It's absolutely complete. It leaves nothing relevant out that is in alignment with your true frequency.
Okay.
So the idea is that you are, while connecting to higher level energies as well, stepping them down into a form that is utilizable and applicable in your reality, which is the electromagnetic field. So you're using the electromagnetic field to create resonant patterns that are reflective and indicative of the state of being that is representative of balance and health and awareness. And again, as a healer, should someone be attracted to you for the purpose of matching that vibration, you will have allowed them the opportunity to experience an environment in which they can choose to heal themselves. But it's basically being done, even if you're connecting to other energies elsewhere, it's basically being done through the auspices of the electromagnetic energy that is representative of your physical reality.
Got it. Thank
Does
you.
that make sense?
Yes. What is a good way to charge myself, energize myself? with
How do you
anybody?
become discharged?
I'm not sure.
What makes you think you are discharged?
Um, uh, Feeling tired?
Feeling tired can be a natural state that says that you do need to simply relax for a while. You know that in a very real way, most of you recharge when you sleep, yes?
Yeah.
So if you're tired, go to sleep.
Okay.
And you will recharge. Yes?
Okay.
Nothing mysterious, or perhaps meditation will do it for you, but it's really what you're attracted to do. But tiredness can be part of your excitement, you know. It
Lucid
can be
dreaming?
part of the
Yeah.
natural biological rhythm that's exciting for you. You do what you do, and then you become tired and relax and recharge. And then you're charged, and then you do what you do, and you follow your natural biological timing and your rhythm. And then you're in your natural flow, yes?
Okay.
Simple as that. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that unless you would like it to be.
Fair enough. Sometimes complicated is fun, but
Yes, and that's why so many of you might
Right.
do it.
right. In a previous transmission, you
Yes.
mentioned that monoatomic cobalt could be used to amplify or intensify a person's field.
It can be, though
And-
we were talking in a very specific set of cases and circumstances
Okay.
in that dialogue, and it's not necessarily absolutely applicable in this conversation.
Okay. The thing that I was curious about is you issued a very clear warning not
Yes.
to ingest more than 20 or 30 milligrams.
Yes.
I was wondering, 20 or 30 milligrams in what time period? Like per day, per lifetime?
At once.
At once. Got it.
But again, this was delivered as information for a very specific circumstance and case, and isn't really applicable here.
Okay.
Does that help?
Absolutely.
Anything else?
Do our oversouls have unique names? And if so, what is the name of my oversoul?
They don't really have names as you understand it. They certainly are represented by signature frequencies.
Okay.
but it's a combination of many different kinds of frequencies, and it isn't exactly very translatable into your language.
Of course, that makes sense.
Nevertheless, again, each and every one of you experiences excitement and passion in a slightly different way. And because the oversoul is expressing itself through an individuated soul, which is expressing itself through the higher mind to the physical mind, you can perhaps understand that the way in which the particular feeling you have of interpreting the concept of excitement and passion in your body can be somewhat, on your level, representative of the signature frequency of the oversoul.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes. Thank you.
Will that do?
Let's see. One more question.
Yes.
The transition point to fourth density, is that
Well, you're
something-
already going through it, but yes.
That was basically my question. I was wondering if this is something that's already happened or in the future
No, it's happening.
happening.
That's why we're having these conversations. If you weren't transitioning to fourth density reality, it's likely we would not be conversing at all. Remember that fourth density reality is still within the high levels of physical reality in the fourth dimension. Dimension is like the country. Density is like the states within the country. You can have third density and fourth density within the fourth dimension, 3 of space, 1 of time. But when you cross the threshold from fourth density to fifth density, you're also going non-physical. So you're actually going into another dimension, fifth dimensionality, when you go into fifth density, even though third and fourth density are still within the same basic dimension. Does that help?
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
I thought that was the last question.
it is. I just want to say thank you for all of your teaching. It's been a profound honor to learn from you, and especially thank you about all of the information about the span. That was quite a ride.
All right, yes, and there is more ride to come. So, buckle up.
Good afternoon.
And to you, good day.
Well, I'm in the process I am processing all the information that I'm getting
Yes.
from you right now because this is my really first experience with gamma.
Yes.
I've been in a theta state. I have some experiences around theta state.
All right.
Can you explain to me the difference between the gamma and the theta?
It's just different frequencies in the brain that create different experiences and different abilities and different ways of tapping into different portions of your consciousness.
Okay.
It's like, again, tuning a radio. On what you would call the idea of AM, you can only receive certain frequencies and certain programs, and on FM, you can receive different frequencies and different programs. So the idea of beta and delta and gamma is that they are representative of frequencies that allow you different experiences of tapping into different levels of your consciousness and different levels of dimensionality to receive whatever information is important and relevant for you to receive at that particular moment.
Okay.
It's just that gamma is a very high frequency that allows you to access far more than you're used to in your typical waking states and beta states and delta states and so on and so forth. At least while you're dynamically awake. You access a lot of things when you are asleep in delta, but it's a different form of access that allows you to actually go out and have different kinds of experiences in what you would call more of an out-of-body or astral style experience, whereas the gamma frequency allows you to function dynamically in greater harmony with your higher mind and be represented as a more holistic person in physical reality and access higher perspectives, bigger picture points of view, more information more coherently, processing more quickly, and synthesizing information more quickly from whatever is the input to whatever the output needs to be to address whatever circumstance and situation that you may be experiencing. Does that make sense in your language?
Yes, it does.
All right.
So as an educator of young children,
Yes.
I'm noticing that you use the pathway of breathing to get to that gamma state.
Well,
Is that
we
correct?
can use it that way. It's one way, yes. But as we said, doing anything you love to do, when you're doing something that you're completely absorbed by, that you love to do, and you don't notice the passage of time, you're in the gamma state. When you're operating at peak performance in any way, shape, or form, you're in the gamma state. When you're, as you say, in the zone, you're in the gamma state. So there are many ways to create the gamma state. We're just taking you through a particular permission slip methodology that can work for many people on your planet to get you into the practice of being in that state, even when you're not necessarily focused on expressing it physically in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, so as an educator in the classroom,
Yes.
I'm asking you this because the classroom is a very dysfunctional place to be.
Well, yes, because of how it's engineered, how it's arranged.
Right.
That's why we talked about the three main principles that need to be used in your classes to allow the children to actually access the gamma state.
Right. So what I guess I'm trying to ask you
Yes.
is that using the breathing technique before learning starts in the classroom.
Yes. Meditative states can be of assistance to prepare the class to receive information more efficiently, as long as the information is in alignment with that meditative gamma state. In other words, what we said, it's got to be more interactive. You have to provide a safe environment for them to make choices and learn the consequences of those choices so they can learn responsibility for creating their reality. And you have to adapt the lessons to their particular modality of learning as an individual that is unique. And when you get them into the gamma state through either meditation or through some other creative, expressive endeavor that puts them doing what they love to do, then you can start dispensing information in the way that we are suggesting. And because it's aligned with the gamma state, that information will be absorbed in the way that it needs to be, most effectively. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
I'm here to, I just need to think about this and see if I need to.
Oh, go right
ask-
ahead. Now, do trust your imagination to alter these things in whatever way seems best to you, because as the teacher, you also have to use your own gamma state energy. You have to use your imagination and have communion with your higher mind to be able to be inspired to come up with the things that will actually be most effective for the class. That's what it's all about, communing with your higher mind through imagination and excitement, so that when you are on that vibrational level yourself, you'll be able to come up with the inspirational ideas. Otherwise, you can't. You cannot experience what you're not on the vibrational level of first. So you have to be on that vibrational level of excitement and imagination in order to actually even conceive of the ideas, to be inspired by the ideas that would actually work best for your class. But if you're on that level, you will find the inspiration. The ideas will pop into your head. You will be shown what to do. You will have creative ideas. Yes?
Yes, and the gentleman, I think it was the gentleman who was at the mic before me, was talking about being tired.
Yes.
And even though the ideas come and the inspiration is there and the fun is in the classroom and the children learn,
Yes.
it is, I think the bureaucracy of the system is
Yes.
is so tiring.
Then find a different bureaucracy or create one. You see, this is what we mean when we talk about the idea of really using your imagination and acting on your excitement. Now, there are, as we indicated, different systems that are being created on your planet, and maybe you can find one of the ways in which that is being done that might be more in alignment to your liking and what you would prefer to do. As we said, there are now certain systems called developmentally appropriate programs, DAP. You can look into that and see if any of that is to your liking or more in harmony with you. But if you don't find what it is you're looking for, create it. That's the whole idea of being bold enough and imaginative enough and passionate enough to break the mold, break out of the box, create a new system. You don't have to stay within the system that you're in. Create a new system if you can't find what works for you. Create what works for you, and it will work for others who will be attracted to the new system. Yes?
Yes.
You just have to be imaginative and bold enough to do so. But the rewards will be great and many.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Class dismissed.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm very excited to be here.
We
talking to
are
you.
excited to speak with you as well. What would you like to discuss?
For the last 4 years, I've been heartbroken over this guy and
Heartbroken over this guy.
over a guy, yes.
Yes.
And
Heartbroken about what?
well, he doesn't want to be with me, but sometimes
Then why
he
would
does.
you want to be with him? Why would you want to attract somebody in your life that doesn't wish to be with you? What
well,
are you
every
doing to
time
yourself?
I stop thinking about him, then he comes into my life again.
To test you, to see if you're willing to give up your power to something that isn't what you prefer? And yet you keep swallowing the bait?
Yep.
Why are you doing that to yourself? How about being heartbroken over what you're doing to yourself?
I think I am,
I know you are.
but
But
I just
what?
get really emotional about it.
Of course you do, because you are feeling the result of what you believe to be true about yourself. But you can't wallow in the feeling. You have to get in touch with what you believe to be true about yourself to understand what it is you're doing, what it is you keep choosing to do.
Okay, well, I mean, I think probably I believe that I'm not lovable or something like that. But even if I know that, I'm not sure how to change that
Well,
idea.
let's examine it more specifically. You may be aware of the fact that you believe you're not lovable, but you haven't gotten down to the root of why that seems logical for you to believe. Why does that seem believable? That's another belief system. Why does it seem believable that you're not lovable?
Because
Yes.
the people that I love don't love me.
The people that you love don't love you. But again, all you're doing is repeating the pattern in that statement of attracting reflections of what you already feel to be true about yourself, which means you don't love yourself. So what else could you possibly attract if that's how you feel about yourself, other than people who will reflect to you your inability to love yourself, which is what they're doing.
And
You can't be surprised by that if you don't love yourself. That's what
I'm
you would
not
get.
surprised by it. I'm just not sure how to change it.
I am telling you how, but you're not really paying attention to the idea.
Okay.
Understand that if you know you don't love yourself, I'm asking you another question. Why would you buy into that as being true, that you don't love yourself, or that you can't love yourself, or you're not worthy of loving yourself? Why would that seem logical to believe in?
Because of a feeling, I guess.
Nope. Because
Sometimes
of a
I love
belief.
myself. Sometimes I
Sometimes,
do.
like when? Give me an example.
When I rock climb and I feel
When
like
you
I
rock
get
climb.
into the gamma state.
All right, and in that state, you can feel that you love yourself.
Yes.
So let me ask you a very important question.
Okay.
What's the difference that you're making in your definitions between loving yourself when you rock climb and other circumstances in your life? What difference are you making there in the idea of who you are in different situations?
I feel powerful and I feel like I can trust myself and
why can't you bring that to other circumstances in your life? What beliefs do you have that say, I cannot feel this and know this same thing to be true in this situation, even though I feel it in this situation? What difference are you defining there to be between the two situations?
I feel okay, so
Stop saying you feel. I know you feel.
okay.
But
I
what are you
have an
defining
idea.
to
I
be
have a
true?
definition that to To
Yes.
be lovable,
Yes.
you have to prove yourself materially.
What does that mean?
Make a lot of money, just
Why do you believe that to be true?
because
Do you believe that to be true? Not
no.
really.
but the people that I love believe it to be true.
So what? You're not them. They're not you. They're not living your life. Why do you have to believe as they do?
It just seems true.
Why do you have to believe as they do in order to respect yourself? In order to love yourself, why do you have to believe as they do? Do you understand that if they are imposing that kind of a belief system on you, that they may think they love you, but it's not love that they're expressing, it's control. Do you understand that by accepting what they are imposing on you as a belief system, that that is not love? Therefore, you think that by going along with their beliefs, you are being loved, but you're not. You're just being controlled. That's not love. So you're under the misguided misassumption that buying into their beliefs means that they're loving you. No, they're not.
Well,
Well,
it's
what?
just this one person because
I don't care how many people it is.
Well, it's just this one person that I want to love me
Why? Why do you care?
because I like how I feel when I'm with him.
So what you're saying is, even though there might actually be someone out there who would actually love you even more perfectly, and really love you, you're going to hold on to someone who doesn't really love you in the way that you prefer to be loved just because it's about, 82% of it? That's enough? You're going to settle for that and block the passage block the arrival of someone out there who might actually be able to love you 100% for who you are? Is that what you're actually willing to do to yourself? Just because you think you can't attract someone else any better than this? Is that what you're saying? Nod your head.
I don't think I can attract someone better unless I'm better, and I feel like I
Exactly.
have to make more.
And
I have to-
exactly. And when you allow yourself to recognize that someone who exhibits 82% of the traits that you prefer isn't the person that you prefer, you will then allow him to get out of the way and allow the other person to come in. You're the one blocking love from your life that could be there because you're not willing to be strong enough to know that you deserve better than just some of it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Some of it is not what you prefer, yet you're holding on to it because you don't believe anything else can come in. And the reason it doesn't come in is because you're blocking the way with someone who is only partially what you prefer. You're the one jamming the lanes. Let him flow off. Let him flow by, because whoever does show up, you won't care who it is because they will feel correct. Let me ask you a question this way. Have you ever had any other relationships before this one?
Yes.
Well, how did this one come about if you didn't let the other ones go?
Okay, right.
Thank you. Obvious, isn't it? So what's so different about this? All you've done is attract to yourself something to test yourself to see if you're willing to put up with something that is a half measure, as opposed to standing firm in what you know to be true for you, that you prefer, and letting your life flow that to you. You're actually willing to shortchange yourself. Why? If it happened before that you let someone else go their way because something more came in, what's so difficult about doing it again if you understand that something else can come in if you don't block it from doing so? Just like it did before.
I feel like I'm getting too old.
Oh, how old are you?
I'm 30.
I beg your pardon? 30?
Yes, but on this planet, that's
Oh, no,
horrible.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Excuses, excuses, excuses that are not real. You have a saying on your planet that is very wise. Yes? Fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. Yes? False evidence appearing real. The fact that you're 30, the fact that you're on Earth, the fact that a lot of people say, well, that biological clock is ticking. You'd best marry soon or you're going to be a dried up prune. Is absolute nonsense. Now, yes, we understand there's a collective consensus reality. There are certain things that you've agreed to with the collective consensus that you all abide by that are general, very general truths for a lot of you. That doesn't mean that every single aspect of that has to apply to you individually. And if you simply allow yourself to really fully be yourself, then whatever it is actually needs to be in your life, that is relevant to be in your life, will be in your life. Because it cannot be not in your life. When we talk about, again, excitement being a complete kit, that's what we mean. Everything that's relevant will happen. There is only one exception to this. You've made all your agreements, you've made all your appointments. If you don't worry about them, you'll keep them. The things that need to happen will happen in perfect timing by the agreements you've already made in this life and before this life, about this life. The only way to miss your agreements is to spend your time and energy worrying you will miss the agreements. That's how you miss the timing. By spending time and energy worrying you'll miss your timing. That's the only way to miss your timing. If you don't worry about missing your timing, you cannot miss your timing.
Okay, I understand that.
Maybe you do, and maybe
Or
you don't.
I've
We'll
heard
see.
you say that before. but
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
Aren't there multiple or infinite realities? So
Yes.
the agreements and the appointments and whatever, aren't they different across all the different?
Some are very
realities?
slightly different and some are massively different, but you still get to choose which one you prefer. That's how you fit into the niche and the path that is you by being your full self and knowing that whatever has to unfold that is relevant for you as a unique consciousness and a unique perspective will be exactly what you need to get a reflection of the fulfillment that you create in your state of being.
So the other versions of me, then they're
Yes.
not really me, right?
No, they're not. They're
not.
other people
They're other
entirely.
people. Okay, I wondered about that.
Noel, does that answer that question?
Can I I'm going to ask a question
Yes.
that's kind of related. I've been working. I feel very bad because I
Yes.
work for my father, and I
Yes.
feel like, I didn't
Yes.
get like a independent job, and he's
So
been
what?
supporting me to create a website. It's a social media site. I've been working.
Yes. Does
Hard.
that excite you?
It does really excite me, but there's something about it that is just been driving me crazy. So
Oh, such as? How exciting. What drives you crazy?
Fear.
Fear about what?
I just feel guilty about succeeding.
Fear about what? You feel guilty about what?
About the possibility of succeeding.
What is success? Being yourself. If at first you don't succeed, redefine success. To be that definition that works for you. No one else will have the same definition of success.
Or I guess I'm scared of failing. It's one or the other.
What is failure? Not being yourself. That's it.
Do you really have to be yourself 100% of the time before you're successful at being yourself?
No. No, you do not. But here's the paradoxical irony. When you're okay with not being your true self 100% of the time, you are being your true self 100% of the time. Because you know you're going through a process, and it's okay to go through the process, and it's okay to know you're not always at your best, and that's okay. It's when you start heaping judgment and guilt upon yourself that you're going in the other direction. It's not because you're not always doing exactly the thing you would like to do. It's because of your attitude toward that experience that determines whether you're successful or not. So if you're all right with sometimes going, oh, well, you know, I took a left turn here. It's not what I intended, but all right, I learned something from it. I'm not always 100% at my best, but that's okay because I know that it is my intention to be. And therefore, by acknowledging that it's okay to have gone down that path, even if it wasn't what I preferred, I know that overall I'm okay and have a self-correcting, self-guiding system that will always course correct and bring me back to where I prefer to be. That is success. Not because you achieve a goal. Not because something comes to fruition in the way you thought it would. Success is being okay with yourself at every moment, even when you're not okay with yourself. That's okay. If you heap judgment and guilt upon yourself, that's what stops you from being a success. Because many, many people in your reality who you would look at and go, oh, that's a very, very successful person, that's their secret, is they don't give up. They don't get down on themselves for suddenly maybe being out of alignment with who they prefer to be. They learn from it. They get back into alignment. They say, okay, lesson learned. Let's move on. That's success, because the process of your entire life, the process is the point. The journey is the destination. You're not trying to get anywhere. All you're doing is attempting to be more of yourself to the best of your ability. And if you're doing your best, that's all you need to do, and that's a success. Does this help?
Yes, it does.
Do you feel a little bit more relaxed about yourself?
I do.
Then that is the measure of success. All right?
Thank you, Bashar.
You are welcome.
How can I then change myself to change the perception I'm having of the people around me, and specifically the ones I'm having quote-unquote negative experiences with?
All right. First of all, you start by not labeling anything in your reality as negative, because if you do, all you're doing is agreeing with them and perpetuating that idea for yourself, are you not?
Yes.
Well, then if someone does something that you perceive as happening in your reality or is directed at you, knowing what we just said in that you are creating your version of them, you must be somewhere within your own consciousness in agreement with that idea in order to perceive it that way. Now, we understand you have the ability to observe in a neutral sense, in an objective sense, so to speak, that someone can be being negative even if you're not. But the point is you don't take it to heart if you know it has nothing to do with you. The only reason you would feel affected by it is if you agree that it does. You see?
Okay, well, I want to take it one...
Oh, one moment. Not done yet.
Okay.
Want to illustrate a little point, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
All right. Now, if you were wearing something blue and someone came up to you and said, I hate red, and I hate what you're wearing, you'd go, what? That makes no sense. Oh, it must have nothing to do with me. Oh, you must be crazy. You must be talking about someone else. You wouldn't be affected by it because it wouldn't make sense to you. You understand?
Yes.
You would have no real emotional reaction to it. The idea, therefore, is that when you feel the emotional reaction of someone's supposed attack, what you're doing is getting them, your version of them, to reflect to you that some portion of yourself feels that way about yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't react. You would just observe it. Oh, interesting. And move on with your day. But if you react to it, it's showing you, hey, some part of you actually is buying into this as true. So what do you want to do about it? So you say, well, thank you. Thank you for showing that I was not loving all of myself. And when you really start doing that, then you may start to see that someone else's attitude toward you may change, because what you've done is you've changed your version of them in your reality to be more reflective of the fact that you're now loving yourself more wholly. Make sense? The real being may still be going off and insulting everybody, but the only version of them you'll get is the version you've created that is now reflective of the love you're willing to give to yourself, that you weren't willing to give to yourself before. Is this starting to make sense? Do you see what kind of a shadow play this is?
Yes, it's very subtle, especially if
Yes.
you're in the room with somebody
Yes.
and you're not.
Especially if you imagine you're in the room with somebody.
I stand
Remember, it's not real. It's not real. It's your reality experience. It's not empirically real. It's just a symbol of the reality you are creating yourself to be, of your experience of yourself. So just because it looks like someone else is in the room with you, they're not. They're in their own room, maybe with their version of you. So the question is, what do you prefer to be going on in your room? Because you're the only one in it. Regardless of what it looks like, you're the only one in it. Are you familiar with what you call a fictional drama on your planet called Star Trek?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the device that they call the holodeck?
Yes.
Are you understanding that all of the other people are just holograms?
I understand that intellectually.
I just love that line. It is, no offense, no judgment, it's the ultimate cop-out.
It is.
I understand it intellectually is actually another way of saying I'm not sure I want to get too close to really knowing what you're saying here. It's pushing the idea away. Because you actually do know exactly what I'm saying. Deep in your heart, deep in your soul. It's just that you've been taught to be afraid to look at it too closely.
Afraid to look at the concept or the actual experience of holograms?
Because you see, this is what you're dealing with. This is what most of you deal with when you're in this kind of situation. You're afraid to look too closely at dealing with this because what you've been taught to fear is that what you think these other people are saying about you might actually be true. And oh no, how horrible would that be? You follow me? If you look too deeply, you're afraid it might actually be true. And then where will you be? But I'm telling you, it never will be true. Only what you decide is true for you is true. Is this making some sense?
Yes.
Intellectually?
I appreciate the reminder.
Oh, all right. Now, where do you want to go with this from here?
I want to go from here because in preparation for coming to this event, I had communicated to you telepathically and asked you to help me discover my blocks from living my fullest potential.
And what am I doing?
Well, no, last night you came to me in my dreams.
Yes.
And I wanted to know what we were doing.
This.
We were doing this.
More of this.
More of this work.
Yes.
Okay, so can you specifically illuminate for me my soul's agreement and purpose in life?
Obviously, this is one of the things you have decided to learn, your self-worth, in the face of opposing opinions. Are you going to believe in the truth that is you, or are you going to believe in someone else's truth that has nothing to do with you? Which do you prefer?
I believe in my truth.
All right. Then you can continue to choose to do so. And anytime you find yourself feeling fearful about what someone else is saying about you or reacting to someone else's communication at you, understand that's another opportunity to feel your self-worth and believe in yourself, and understand that many times when someone comes up to you and says something that seems like an attack on you, what they're actually telling you is they have the same fear. And they're just projecting it on you to give you an opportunity to decide whether it's true for you. And what you can then do is be big enough to hold a space to allow them to find out whether it really needs to continue to be true for them, by loving them back for showing you an opportunity to love yourself more. You see?
Yes, thank you very much.
Is this helping?
Oh, absolutely. Thank
All right.
you. Thank you.
We'll talk some more.
Thank you. See you in my dreams.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Bashar,
And a you good day.
how are you?
Perfect in you.
Good.
All right.
I have a question as far as with negative belief systems.
Yes.
I feel like I've identified a lot of them
Oh,
within
all
my
right.
life, and I've transformed them
Yes.
into positive belief systems.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And
But I feel like the ones that are coming up now are just, they're so powerful. Like,
of course they are.
yeah.
Because the more you transform, the more powerful you get, and the more you can handle. Or don't you believe that?
I do, but I find it really... Yeah, comments are right there.
I do, but you
Yeah.
do or you don't. So if you say I do, but, that's the same thing as saying I don't.
I do believe I am powerful enough to handle them.
Then act like you are, and you will see that you are. Know that you are, and you will experience that you are. If you don't feel that you are, there is still some belief you haven't found that's preventing you from knowing you can feel that you are. Find out what that belief is and transform that one. And when you transform that one, you will feel that you can handle anything else that comes. So find the belief that's saying, I can only handle so much, or I believe I'm actually being given more than I can handle, which is not really possible. Not really. And thus, allow yourself to transform that belief so that you can suddenly realize, if I were not this powerful, that wouldn't have come with that appearance of power. That has to be a reflection of the level of power I have, or I wouldn't perceive that much power in it. Remember, you cannot perceive what you're not the vibration of. This is just physics. You can't perceive what you're not on the same level of. So if you're perceiving great power in that belief system, you have to be capable of dealing with it. You have to be on the level of it energetically, or it couldn't even be perceived by you. The perception is the proof of the level you're on. Does that make sense?
It does, but I have that. Yeah, I know. It's just that difficulty in actually transforming it into what I want.
There is no difficulty inherent in any circumstance. There is no difficulty inherent in transformation. Only your definition is giving you the experience that it's difficult. Find out the definition that is making the transformation be defined as difficult. And you will find out that transformation itself is not difficult. You will always have challenges, yes. You will always have a form of creative pressure in any challenge that you face, because you need creative pressure to grow. But creative pressure and challenges don't have to equate to struggle, strife, pain, and difficulty in that context. Don't define them that way, and you won't experience them that way. It's not a given that certain things are naturally, inherently difficult. Only your definitions make them appear so.
So just finding those definitions. And
Yes, it's absolutely crucial that you allow those definitions to come into your conscious recognition. Because if you don't consciously recognize the definition, you have nothing to work with. It remains unconscious, and you don't know why what's happening is happening. You have to identify the belief system in order to know that it's something that doesn't belong to you. It's something you picked up along the way. Any definition that's out of alignment with your preferred self doesn't belong to you. Came from your parents, came from your friends, came from your society, came from your schooling. It doesn't belong to you if it's out of alignment with your preferred, true, natural core frequency. So stop carrying around baggage that doesn't belong to you. On your planet, you call that stealing.
Don't be a belief thief. Let go of beliefs that have nothing to do with you, that belong to your parents, that belong to your friends, that belong to your school, that belong to your society, and have nothing to do with you. That's why they don't feel right. They're not yours. Anything that actually belongs to you is light as a feather. That's how you know it's yours. Anything that weighs you down doesn't belong to you. Let it go. Does that help?
It does. Thank you very much.
Why, you're welcome.
Good day, Bashar.
How do you good day?
Ha'atu.
Ha'atu.
And I love you all. So I wanted to talk about my hybrid experiences and my lucid dream states.
All right, go right ahead.
Yeah, that was basically 3 years, almost 3 years after I found out I had hybrid kids. I had this lucid dream where I was climbing this tree,
Yes.
and I thought of Pearl, my hybrid
Yes.
daughter, and I just called out her name, and I, for the first time in that state, didn't feel, well, I felt a little bit of fear of like being startled
Yes.
by her, and then I was just really courageous, and I was able to meet her,
All right, bravo or brava.
and it was really beautiful. And then I had another experience with her like shortly after that,
All
where
right.
I was in the template reality, and it felt like that. I felt like
Yes.
a higher
Yes.
knowingness of myself, like
Yes.
the part of myself that always is interacting.
Yes, the transparent you.
Yeah, it was really lovely.
Yes, it is.
And we explored all kinds of like limiting belief systems
What
that I
fun.
have. Yeah, it was awesome. And yeah, I love you, Pearl, and I love you, all my hybrid children.
The string of pearls.
Yes, like Indra's net.
Yes.
Yes.
The holographic representation
Yeah.
of every single pearl reflecting all the information of every other pearl in the net.
It's beautiful. And
It is.
Is that her like essence? Is that what like her core?
Holographic reflectivity, yes.
Yeah, that's what I.
That's
what
why
I
you were
felt.
capable of exploring the idea of your negative belief systems in that way, because you were enveloped in the vibration of holographic reflectivity and were able to see the information from different points of view.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm still exploring those, and
Yes.
yeah, they're really like clear in my mind, and
Why, thank you.
I love that exploration.
Thank you.
So the other night, like about a week ago, I had a really strange experience.
Oh, how exciting.
I
We
believe.
love strange.
Yeah. So I believe it to be with a being named Al-Halar. Is that correct?
It's a vibrational representation that your physical mind is associating with that particular frequency. Doesn't mean that the being calls itself that in its own realm.
Okay. Is there a name that I could?
No.
Nope. Okay,
It's
perfect.
nothing that you can pronounce. That's why your physical mind gave you a representation.
Great. Yeah, it was like channeled through another woman. She gave me that name.
All right.
So there was like, I didn't feel like I was fully asleep. I didn't feel like I was dreaming. I felt like I was waking up and then going into this altered
Yes.
state.
Yes.
And it was really intense, like all
Yes.
this energy around my head.
All right.
And I knew that all this information was coming in, as you
Yes.
said earlier.
Yes.
And I saw like my mind as like a computer, and like
Yes, in a
files being
sense.
downloaded and
So to speak.
and whatnot.
Not exactly, but so to speak.
Okay. Well, I do remember asking if my friend Leah, who was in the room, if she had been abducted, and I heard this really loud, like yes, and it was really intense. And is that true? Like, was that happening, or was that?
Was it happening?
I mean, yeah. Like, did she get abducted? Was that like at the same time that was going down?
Not at the time you called the present time, but she has had that experience
Yeah.
that you are referring to as abduction.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, we have that hybrid children connection.
Yes.
So, great. And
That's why I said string of pearls.
nice. Great. Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah. What's the significance of the 6th floor in the dream that I had when I met Merope?
You're talking about 6th density reality.
Okay.
That's
Awesome.
where the encounter occurred.
Yeah, it was like I was in the elevator, and then I
Yes.
had to like hit this button a certain way, and it like,
Yes.
yeah.
You
okay.
have to hit the button a certain way to be able to rise to that frequency.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yeah.
Then
Totally.
happy explorations to you.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sweet dreams.
You too. We are having the sweetest dream right now.
Bashar,
Good day to you.
hey, it's good to talk to you again. I spoke with you once before,
And you as well.
and I have a question, several questions. I spoke to you once before about dreams, but first I'm going to start with a question about, we have a comet in our solar system.
Yes,
that
you do.
We call Ison.
Ison.
Can you tell me more about Ison? And also, there's some...
It's what you typically have come to call the Christmas comet. It is in that sense simply a reflection of a new cycle coming in, and the degree of its reflectivity in that sense will also represent to some degree the degree of reflectivity coming up in the next year, since the next year, 2014, is the year of reinvention.
Is the comet more than a comet?
No.
Interesting.
It is in that sense a comet in your physical reality, but it is more than a comet in the sense that it is a symbol of certain things going on in the collective consciousness of your reality. If you're asking me if it's a spaceship, no.
Thank you. I guess I was like... Are there crafts behind the moon right now that just came in recently?
Spacecraft?
Yes.
On what you call the far side of your moon?
Yes.
Yes, always.
Can you tell me why they're there?
They're observing. There are extraterrestrial bases on the moon that they come and go from in their explorations in your system. It's a very convenient place for many extraterrestrials to observe your world from, since that side of your moon never faces your planet.
It's pretty good. All right. I heard there was some that just recently came in. Okay.
Well, there is always beings and crafts coming and going into those bases.
It's cool.
Just like there are always planes taking off and landing at your airports. So of course you could say, well, I heard some just came in. Well, yes, of course.
Cool.
And some just left. Yes, of course. Just like an airport.
Of course. Of course.
It's not a big mystery.
That's cool. Dream question.
Yes.
Lucid dreams. I had a lucid dream where I have these two. I spoke to you about it before, and these four beings are like really loving.
Yes.
And one time when I was in a dream, to take control of my dream, there's like a technique. You know, once you realize you're dreaming, you
Yes.
look at your hand.
Well, that's one technique, yes.
And
Or you can see your hand and use your hand as a symbol when you see it that you're dreaming to wake you up into lucidity. It can work in a different way, yes.
when I looked at my hand this particular time, there was a symbol of colored beads in there, and it was
right.
very interesting. Can you tell me what that represents? What did that mean?
It actually can mean a few different things, but as we read your general patterns of energy, it was a symbolic representation of what you typically refer to as the different colors that run up your spine, the chakra points, but in the sense that did they form a circle?
No, it was a shape that I'm still trying to recall.
What was the shape?
Kind of like a 6 with a circle attached to it at the top, maybe. Like
All
the
right.
number
So
6.
in that sense, then it was in the process of curling up. So the idea is to look at the idea of your chakra system that you typically look at linearly, like a spine with the different colors, the different chakra points, and to turn that into a circle so that it is self-feeding, self-perpetuating, self-amplifying, revving yourself up, as you say in your ancient language, pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps.
Nice.
So it's a way of having a symbol, an image of the idea of those energy centers, and by linking them in what you would typically call an Ouroboros, yes? A serpent eating its own tail, the ancient symbol for that idea.
Yes.
Thus you are allowing the energy, the Kundalini energy, to go around and around in cycles and amplify itself up. So you are being given, in a sense, a symbol that represents the ability to feel that linkage and amp your energy up in that way.
Nice.
Yes?
Great.
All right.
Fantastic. There was an incident where I was laying in bed and I felt like I was coming out of my body through
Yes.
my chest.
Yes.
I felt fear. I came back. I let go of the fear and I left.
All right.
And I was I believe, brought to this place. It
Well,
was,
guided, yes.
okay. It was beautiful, like the inside of a man. There was music and artwork.
Yes.
and-
Many places in the spirit realm are like that. Again, remember, there are different vibrational levels in the spirit realm. And many people choose to actually still experience things that are somewhat similar to what you experienced in the earth plane, but shall we just say, in a much, much more magnificent and spectral and powerful way. So you can actually have whole communities, whole areas that look like mountains and lakes and forests and villages and towns in the spirit reality, because those spirits are reinforcing that reality with their own thoughts, but in ways that are different than what you experienced in physical reality. There can be things that look very similar to Earth, there can be things that look very different, and there can be things that are very in between, supported by the community of the spirit that are collectively creating those particular reality experiences in spirit.
That's fantastic.
This is what is really meant by the idea of there are many mansions. You understand?
Yes, I do.
It all happens here and now, but it happens in different frequencies.
Who are these four? Can you tell me more about the four beings?
They are friends, they are guides. You will remember more about them in time.
Nice.
Actually, more precisely, you will remember more about them in timelessness.
Very good. Okay, one of them told me that I was a chosen one. What does that mean?
It means you have chosen yourself to do certain things and to wake up in certain ways. It means that you are taking full responsibility for the experiences you are choosing.
Nice.
And that you recognize that this is the time to wake up, this is the age of transformation, and you're willing to be a living example of that so that others can also share in that vibration and make choices that are relevant for them.
That's
Yes?
great. That's great. I love hearing it from you.
So we thank you for your service. That's what it means to be a chosen one. It means you have chosen to serve in that way. All of you really have. All of you have chosen yourselves to do that. And as you go through the process and as you allow us to reflect certain things back to you from your own higher mind, together we are refining the choices that you have made and the process that you are experiencing.
That's great.
So we thank you, all of you, for your service and your willingness to explore and discover and be more and more and more of who you truly are. Because again, as we say, that creates new realities in which we can play on greater and greater and greater levels. So we thank you.
Well, gratitude is mine, Bashar. Thanks. Quickly, we go out in the fields. I'm a member of this ET Skywatch team, and
Yes.
we get video
Are
footage.
you peering at us?
Yes. And you are signaling us back and flashing. It's wonderful. We get these.
Sometimes.
Maybe not you are. What I'm asking now is, we're going to go out next weekend. Would you like to come out with some of your craft and
Again,
visit us? That'd be great.
All the invitations have already been given. All the appointments have already been made. You don't need to ask us again. If there is a purpose for us to be there, we will be there. If there isn't, we won't.
Thank you. I'd like to give you a big hug. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Received and given.
And it's truly my pleasure to welcome you to this very exciting galactic event, which also happens to be the 30th anniversary of the channeling of Bashar by Darryl Anka. And if that weren't amazing enough, I mean, it is truly, I guess in human terms, a very magical experience when he closes his eyes and he goes into an altered state of consciousness and brings through this truly extraordinary, brilliant consciousness called Bashar. And I'd also like to welcome all the people that are joining us today by teleconference and by Ustream. That brings us a kind of a world grid experience where all these consciousnesses are joining together and creating our own version of planet Earth. And I would assume that this is not necessarily the same planet Earth than the people on the outside world are experiencing. So count yourselves as unique in that way. Tonight's session is entitled Dream a Little Dream. And when Bashar mentioned that title, it just brought to mind the idea of this incredible dream that we've been sharing together for the last 30 years. And I know some of you are new to Bashar, and other people have been experiencing Bashar for this 30-year period. And I think many of us would agree that it has taken us into a world that we never may have expected initially in our lives, but then all of a sudden we're connected with our galactic family and with our higher selves and with all these other dimensions of experience that perhaps we weren't aware of when we were first here on planet Earth and integrated with our traditional society. So I think it's really appropriate that he named the session tonight Dream a Little Dream, because I feel like he's given us a beautiful dream to share together. And I'm so excited to hear what other dreams he'll bring to us tonight. So thank you all so much for coming here and sharing this experience and being part of the Bashar and Eshakani world, because it's a very bright future that we all share together. Before we start tonight, I did want to mention a few things. The next session tomorrow morning is called The Fox, and that's going to be a channeling that will include Willa Hillacrising, the parallel reality specialist from 700 years in the future. So that should be very exciting. And also just wanted to mention a few other things that are going on. One thing is that, as you know, we're shooting a Bashar documentary. And we finished the actual shoot in September, and we're now in post-production. And Darryl may be able to say a few words more about it when he comes up here, but basically it's going to be an amazing film, and we're so excited to bring that information to all of you. Also, if I could ask everyone to please turn off your cell phones and to remember that there's no recording of the session. We will have CDs and DVDs of the session available that you can pre-order, or if you want to hear the session right away, you can get the download after the weekend. We'll have the rough edit up right away, and then you will get the final edit if you purchase the rough cut edit. If you need your parking validated, then please go to the gift shop or the front desk or the restaurant. And the protocol today for asking questions will be that Darryl will select the names from the basket. He'll call out the names. And if those individuals would, maybe 4 or 5 at a time, line up over here. And when you come to the mic, Sherry will adjust the mic. Give her a second to adjust the mic so that we can hear you very clearly. And then when you finish asking your question, if you would be so kind as to go this way, and please don't walk in front of the camera. So if you're over here, you want to go all the way around and come over here, and then go all the way around and go back to your seat. Also, as many of you may know, Darryl finished one of his first films called Dearly Departed, which is a film about the afterlife. I'm going to let Darryl tell you about the film a little bit, but we do have DVDs of it available at the CD table if you're interested in purchasing one. And he also has it available for download via Amazon and some other sources. Let's see what else. Okay, and I guess the only other thing I'm going to talk about tonight is the Dolphin Workshop that's coming up in February. We have 2 different Dolphin Workshops now. Bashar blessed us with another week of cetacean meditations that we have entitled Cetacean Celebration. So the first workshop will be the Valentine's Day weekend week in February, and that is Cetacean Transformation. And then 2 weeks later is the new workshop, Cetacean Celebration. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that once we take a look at this video, which shows you a little bit what a dolphin workshop is like from previous workshops.
Will you swim in the same ocean? Swim in the same ocean with me? Oh yes, swim in the same ocean. Swim in the same ocean with me. Together we'll play. Our distant lands won't seem so far away. You'll be close to me when we share the water of the same sea. How much closer we'll be when you swim in the same ocean with me. Swim in the same ocean. 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 May our hearts beat together by the same rays of sunlight and breathe. And when night falls upon us, by the same stars above, we'll dream. Whoa, though miles apart, we explode together like the beat of just one heart. The same air we'll breathe from different lands that share the same sea. How much closer we'll be when you swim in the same ocean with me. Swim in the same ocean. Swim in the same ocean. Swim in the same ocean. Swim in the same ocean.
Though there may be many islands of land, there is only one ocean that surrounds them all. And the dolphins and the whales are connected to all places because they know it is all one sea, one ocean, one world.
We explode together like the beat of just one heart. And you feel close to me when we share the water of the same sea. Oh, how happy we'll be when you swim in the same ocean with me. Swim in the same ocean. Swim in the same ocean. Swim in the same ocean.
So just a little continuation about the cetacean workshop. One of the things that happens when you're swimming with cetaceans and you're with this advanced intelligence in the ocean, basically you start to go more and more into a telepathic state, similar to the way that it happens with Bashar, where, as you've probably noticed, when he's talking a lot of times, your questions will be answered, even though you're not actually speaking with him directly through Darryl. And that also happens while you're swimming with the dolphins, because as you harmonize with their energy and with their consciousness, you start to be transported into a third dimension, a dimension of weightlessness, of buoyancy, and of contact with Sirius energy. And it's very different for each person, because you might be processing something that's been bothering you in your life, or you might be working through something or moving to another level. And what will happen is that the energy of the dolphins will envelop you, and you'll start finding answers, and you'll start finding change within yourself. And then with the meditations that Bashar has us do, those are designed to take you deep into your core being and start making changes to the way that you see the world and the way you see your life. And by the end of the workshop, you just, in a sense, have a new lease on life, and you feel very much connected with the earth, with Sirius, with Bashar, and with the Essassani beings. And from that place, you can see new doorways and new ideas about how to live the life that is truly the life of your dreams. So hope you can join us on the next cetacean workshops. And while they're finishing this up, Darryl, would you like to come up? I'd like to introduce, of course, the beloved Darryl Anka. I guess I've never said that before, have I?
No,
but I'm trying to, what, yeah?
Strangely enough, that's actually what my name means.
Oh, it does?
Darryl means beloved.
Oh.
So you must have just sort of picked that up.
Oh, wow. I guess I got telepathic again. So did you want to share a little bit about your dearly departed?
Real brief.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you need this, or are you wired?
I'm not wired yet. Well, not in that way anyway. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. And again, we really appreciate your patience. We didn't quite expect this much of a turnout, so we really appreciate you all being here. We'll try to make it as comfortable as possible. The film Dearly Departed, which we did a year ago, is it's based on near-death experience reports. It's not a literal documentary, it's a fictional documentary, but we took a lot of the information from the near-death reports that we had studied, and we made the film. We wanted to do a film about that kind of subject, and we were kind of sort of thinking one day, well, wouldn't it be cool if we could actually take a camera into the afterlife and really interview spirits and get their take on life after death? And so we just kind of said, well, why don't we shoot it as if we did it anyway? And so we actually hired actors to play the spirits, and from all walks of life. And it investigates the whole idea of what may be waiting for us in the afterlife, but also primarily it explores issues of what was your life like? Is there something you wanted to change before you died? And just covers a whole bunch of issues about the idea of the difference and the connections between physical life and the afterlife. So if you're interested in that subject, we would love you to support us by getting the Dearly Departed DVD or going and getting a download. So we thank you very much for that. And as, yeah, the Bashar documentary is coming along really well. As April said, it's in post-production. It's being edited now. We're also doing visual effects. One of the reasons we wanted to really do the documentary is because when Bashar is channeling through me and he's talking about something, especially like his world, his ships, his people, I get to see in my head what that looks like, but you don't. So we wanted to do the documentary so we could show you all of that. So we're doing a lot of computer-generated effects, creating what Bashar looks like, what his planet looks like, what the ships look like, and all that, along with a whole exploration of what would really happen, what would really change on this planet if we had open contact. So we're just beginning to see some visual effects coming in now from the people. We were really, really fortunate to actually get the same team that did the visual effects for the movie Life of Pi. So these effects are going to be just beautiful, and can't wait for you all to see them. I can't wait to see it myself. But this won't be done probably until after the first of the year, and then we'll be entering it into film festivals to see if we can attract a distributor to put it in the theaters, and then go from there into DVDs, downloads, and all that. But it's coming along fantastically, and we're very excited about it. So can't wait.
Okay, so I'll let Gary get you all wired up here. Do you like the birthday party or the anniversary celebration? And this contact crystal that you're seeing here for the first time, that we're just unveiling now, that was actually created for the documentary. And Darryl, why don't you mention what the contact crystal represents?
Am I wired? I'm not up though. Well, for people that don't know, Bashar has talked about the idea that on his world they have a representation like what's behind me, although much, much bigger. And each crystal represents one of the worlds in their association. So ideally, maybe one day, Earth will have a crystal in this as we become members of their association. But we wanted to, we've had the little contact crystals that represents the central hex behind me, just as a sort of a seed representation of the contact crystal. But for the movie, we wanted to do something that was at least a little bit closer to what they have on their planet, which is what you now see behind me, except theirs is many, many times bigger and has many more crystals in it, because they have many more worlds than just what you see here. But that's what that represents, so we thought it would be appropriate for tonight.
This is just to bring everybody's energy together.
And have a good time.